Have you ever thought about how two people can look at the same thing and see something entirely different? Well, the difference there is just perspective. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Hi, everyone. My name is Felix. We're here on the channel Cara Borealis, where the goal here is to help you expand your consciousness, simplify your mind, and help you live your life with less stress and more joy. So, perspective is a big thing. Everything we think about, everything we talk about, all comes through our own perspective, like where we're coming from, the way we were raised, the things we were taught to believe when we were younger, what we chose to believe when we grow older. Everything comes through perspective. Like towards the end of the pandemic, I moved to a farm in Houston, where I was studying bhakti yoga for 3 months, and they had cows, they had dogs, and it was pretty cool. I got to pet cows for the first time, but they had one cow. Her name was Mangala. She literally never wanted to be touched except for like a very, very, very few people. She was always angry and would always snort at anyone, any of the guests who were trying to go over there who wanted to pet her. And everyone always just said she's a bad cow. She's a bad cow. She's not a good one. Don't touch her. She's a bad cow. But is she really just a bad cow? I don't think she's a bad cow. I think she was just misunderstood. She was acting the way that she wanted to. She had her own boundaries and she wasn't letting people cross them. And when they did try to cross them, she let them know. She's not a bad cow. She just has her own boundaries. And when she feels like people are going to cross them, she takes a stand for herself. She's unapologetically being herself. And that's something we can look at and try to take in for our own selves. Let's take that a step further and let's look at how we might judge other people in our lives. Let's say you're on the road driving and this one car in front of you just cuts you off randomly. Reactively, you're going to get pretty mad. You're going to get pretty upset. And if people don't really have a grip on how their mind works and don't know how to separate themselves from the mind, they might take that a bit further than it needs to go. But have you ever randomly cut someone off by accident and said, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I bet they hate me." Right? Right? Who knew if they were actually doing that or if they were actually just doing it on purpose? Because I don't think anyone actually means to do these things. So let's take this idea to other people. Has there ever been a time where someone does something towards you that's just seems cruel, mean, or seems like it's unnecessary? And then you just get mad at them, but then you find out later that they're actually just having a hard time and this is just a result of it. Like you're going to Starbucks or something and you say, "Hey, I asked for no cream," and then the barista snaps back at you and says, "Well, then why didn't you ask for no cream?" or something. But and you can get mad and you can say, "God, how unprofessional," or "How terrible customer service. I'm going to talk to your manager." Or you can just try to ask them what's wrong and you'll find out that this is their double shift. They're not making rent because their rent went higher. One of the roommates moved out and they're just having a hard time. Everyone is going through their own struggle all day, every day. Life is a massive struggle, but the light here is that without struggle, there is no growth. So in order for us to be better, there has to be some sort of something to fight against. And in this idea, you can start to see that other people, the way they act, are just mirrors to yourself. Because what comes up within you only comes up within you. The way you think or react or respond to the way someone else acts can only be done by you. And it's something for you to notice and see how it makes you feel. This is part of getting to know yourself and starting to learn self love as well. And that's really important. We'll talk about that one in another video. And then, even going back to myself, starting this YouTube channel, talking about these topics that I'm sure most people aren't going to resonate with. Most people are going to say, like, "What is this hippie crap? Like, why would anyone watch this?" That's an anxiety that comes up within me as well. But I have the ability to look at it and say, "This is a stepping stone. I'm going to step on top of this so I can get taller. I can get bigger. I can start growing more. I can learn to step more in my power by facing my fears rather than letting them hold me down." And there are plenty of ideas like that in everyone's lives as well. I've had terrible bosses who just they seem like they're doing things just because they want to have more power. And there's not much you can do about this other than like maybe talk to upper management, but even then nothing happens. So basically, you can look at this and say everything's terrible, my job is awful, I hate everything. Or you can see this as a challenge and say, "You know what? Today I'm not going to let that get me down. Today I'm going to be able to step in my own power and not let the negativity to other people affect how I feel. I'm here to do my job and that's what I'm going to do. I don't have to talk to this person and I'm not going to. And if they try talking to me, I'm going to stand up within my own boundaries and say, I don't really feel like talking right now." So what kind of struggles do you have in your life? What are you dealing with on a daily basis where you just say, "This thing holds me down," or "I can't move forward"? Is it really holding you down, or is your fear of it holding you down? You have to have the ability to walk into your fear in order to get through it. I'm kind of going through that a lot myself. Um, like I mentioned in one of the previous videos, I've been skateboarding my whole life. Skateboarding is full of fear. Everything you try to do is scary. Everything, every little tiny thing. I say skateboarding is all about what you allow yourself to do because you're so scared of doing anything. Once you're able to go through the fear and find yourself on the other side, the next thing you know, you're rolling away and you have a brand new trick. And that always feels great. So next time you find yourself feeling stuck or judging someone, take a step back. Take a moment to try to figure out, what is my perspective? Can I change it to something that I more prefer? Am I really mad at this person? Am I mad at the way they treated me? Why could they be treating me that way? Maybe I should talk to them and ask them what's going on. Are they okay? If you ever find yourself just wallowing by yourself, just focusing on all the things that aren't going right, all the suffering you're going through in life, instead, I invite you to change that instead to a perspective of gratitude. Doing this can change how you feel in about less than 10 seconds. Instead of focusing on what isn't happening, try to focus on what is going great in your life, no matter how small. All these little things that happen in your life, the little successes, we have the ability to celebrate those at any time, but we also have the ability to celebrate what's not going right. But here's the thing, if we keep focusing on what's not going right, that's more of what we're going to attract in our lives. Our outer reality is more of a projection of how we feel inside. The more sad you feel, the more you're just going to see sad stuff in your daily life, and you're going to gloss over all the people having fun or having a good time. So once you decide to start focusing on gratitude, what you're happy about for things that are actually happening in your life right now, the more you're going to see things like that happen in outer reality, the more you're going to see things like that happen in your own life, and the more you'll be able to take that into the relationships in your life. Another tip, if something happens to you, you're always able to take a step back and ask yourself, will this matter to me in 5 days? Will this matter to me in 5 weeks? Will this matter to me in 5 months? It's really easy to get caught up when something negative happens to us in the moment. But most of the time, you're never going to see that person again. You're never going to be in that situation again. And the effect that it has on you doesn't do anything. It's just a momentary dissatisfaction. Like the barista snapping back at you. That was just a moment. And I'm sure that next time they see you, they might feel bad about it and they might even say sorry. And another tip is to revisit the story you tell yourself. Everyone has a story in their lives. I wake up, I do this, I'm this type of person, I work like this, I sleep like this is how I am. Everyone has their own type of story like that. And that's usually fueled through past experiences, it's fueled through emotion, your beliefs, your habits. And basically, why I'm getting into this is because a lot of times when there's someone I'm trying to talk to, someone I'm trying to get to know more, I'll send them a message and maybe they don't instantly reply. Maybe they read my message and then they, don't reply. And the things that are going through my head are like, I'm weird. They don't like me. They must hate me. I'm doing it wrong. But really, who knows? They're probably just driving. They're probably just in a video game right now where they can't pause it. They're probably just talking to a friend and maybe accidentally opened it. There are a million different reasons something can happen, but the mind always picks the one that is most convenient for it to stay where it is right now. And when you can realize that, it's a lot easier to take a step back and realize, hey, this isn't actually me. This is just something that's going through my head right now. And then we have the ability to just simply ask better questions. If something happens to us, you can say, is this happening to me or is this happening for me? That's actually a really massive shift in my life. I've had a lot of things in the past that I feel like were unfair that happens, where I'm just the unfortunate person that all this is happening to. But because I had those experiences in my past, I was able to take those and move forward with them from the lessons I had learned from being treated like that. And now I have a lot more empathy for other people. I'm able to treat people a lot better, treat people like I would treat myself. So we can look at focus too. Whatever you focus on grows. If you focus on negativity, you'll experience more of that in your life. So we can take that and we can shift our focus to something that we actually have the ability to control or improve. Like we can look at a rainy day and say, it looks so terrible because it's raining. I'm not able to do anything. But instead, you can just choose to make the most of an indoor day. You can choose to learn a new skill on the computer. You can play a video game. You can read a book. You can hang out with friends, play a card game inside. You have plenty of options to do, even though the one thing you wanted to do all day isn't possible because of the things you can't control. So, next time you're feeling stuck or you feel like you're judging someone, take a step back and ask yourself, what is my perspective right now? Do I have the ability to change it? What could I change it to? And remember, empathy and reframing struggles can change how you see the world. Thank you, everyone. That'll do it for this video. I hope to touch on this a bit more in the future, but that's all we got for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for this video. I'm Felix from Cara Borealis, and remember to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.